everybody, thank you so much for coming back to another video. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about District 9. So right out of the gate, I'll go ahead and say District 9 is one of my favorite sci-fi films and easily one of my favorite films that has anything to do with aliens coming down to Earth. This film was actually meant to originally be the first ever live-action Halo film. It was going to be directed by Peter Jackson, who's obviously famous for directing the Lord of the Rings films and the Hobbit films and the King Kong film from 2005. Very amazing director, and that would have been super exciting, but there were some complications and they ended up not making the Halo film, and the budget and all the props and stuff they had begun making for that film ended up being redirected to Neill Blomkamp, who is the director of this film. It was his first ever feature film directorial debut. And yeah, I just think this is an amazing movie, and I think what Neill Blomkamp was able to do with this story and this just overall tone and feel and vibe and just really making this a unique story was amazing. He was really able to just make this something very unique and very different compared to other sci-fi alien films. So like I said, this movie is directed by Neill Blomkamp. This was his directorial feature film debut. He had done some short films prior to this, but yeah, this was his first ever big screen debut. I think he knocked it right out of the park. He would go on to direct things like Elysium and Chappie, but I think District 9 is still my favorite film that he's directed. And not only because it's his first one, I'm not one of those kind of people, but I really just think that he hit the nail right on the head with how to make a really great and gritty film right with this one. And I do enjoy Elysium and Chappie, but yeah, I think this is easily the best film he's directed thus far. So this film stars and only really focuses on Sharlto Copley's character. I think that's how you pronounce his name. He's the main character in this film. He plays a character named Wickes, and he would go on to be in films like the A-Team remake as well as Elysium, which was also directed by Neill Blomkamp. And I think he is a phenomenal actor. This was the first film that I ever saw him in, and yeah, he's just completely sold me on the entire film. You know, his performance at the beginning starts a little goofy, a little wacky. You think, I don't really know if I'm going to get into this character, but the situations that he's put into really molds his character, and he goes through a really big arc by the end of the film, and you know, you really are able to connect with his character as the film goes on, who's a character that starts off kind of annoying, a little bit kind of dweeby, a little bit kind of just, you know, like you don't really see the likability in him, but by the end of the film, you know, he really goes full circle and really changes quite a bit. And I really do enjoy his performance and the ride that he takes the viewers on as far as his acting goes. So as usual, I won't be giving any spoilers for the film, but I do want to give a general synopsis so you know what this film is generally about. And really what I can say is this is, again, one of my favorite, if not coolest, just unique takes on the aliens coming to Earth story. You know, we always see the abductions, we always see them coming and destroying the planet, or we have superheroes on the planet who are fighting the aliens. And of course, that's just fun, blockbuster, you know, popcorn type of films, but this film really takes a very dark, gritty, kind of just ground level, boots to the ground, almost jarhead feeling and vibe to this film. The general concept is you have this alien race that looks a lot like cockroaches that can walk on their hind legs. They're very intelligent, but they're also, you know, not super intelligent. They're very, you know, easily manipulated at times. There are certain people who are dumb, and that's the same thing with any species in any race. And I think that they did a really good job of, you know, showing us who the tough ones are, showing us who the dumb ones are, who the scared ones are, and they really make their race not feel like one type of alien just overall, but like people, like they're different people. And the general concept is their spacecraft broke down right above a specific city in Africa. I can't remember what part of Africa, but essentially they're in Africa. Their spacecraft has stopped. It's hovering right above this African city, but they don't have the power or the juice to get out of there. The military ends up going up to the spacecraft, and when they go inside, they find all these malnourished, weak, and really exhausted and tired aliens who are obviously stuck here on this planet now and have no way of getting out. So skip some time and you find out the military has essentially put them in what really is concentration camps. They're just in camps and these little homing communities that they're not allowed to leave. People are not allowed to go in. They're quarantined off. You know, there's a lot of prejudice. There's a really big message about prejudice in this film, and I really just enjoy how real and gritty and dark this film can be thematically and in so many other ways. On top of that, the cinematography, the look, the CG, everything about it just has this really like lived in, just grimy, nasty, really cool vibe to it. And I really enjoy the way this film looks compared to other sci-fi alien films. And I really just enjoy this take on it where the aliens, you really can sympathize with them. They don't speak English, they speak in a language of clicks, clacks, and grunts. And yeah, they're essentially like cockroaches, but the special effects done on them are just so well done. They're so believable. You really do buy into their look and their vibe. You can see why certain people would react certain ways to them. And I really feel like the world just has, like I said, a very good lived in feel. There's something about it that's just so awesome, and I really just enjoy the look, the grit, the feel, and the vibe of this film. So like I mentioned, you have these aliens in these concentration camps. The main character, Wikus, is working for the military and with the military, and the film starts off in a documentary style kind of format. That does change as the movie goes on. It'll go into your typical just film format, you know, where it's telling the story and the cameras are not a documentary kind of thing, but there is a big portion of the film that is like that at the very beginning. And at first, you know, you don't really know what kind of film you're in for, but once things really pick up, it really picks up, and it just stays interesting the entire time. So this character Wikus ends up going into this homing community to go and essentially get all these aliens to sign papers telling them they're going to be relocated to a new area. A lot of them don't really know what they're signing. They're promising them, you know, food. They're promising them this and that. And what they don't really realize is a lot of them are being tricked into paying. You know, they're paying for a cost of living because of, you know, what they're costing the military. But they, you know, they don't speak English. They have prejudice on them. They're being quarantined. They have no way of really making money. They can only really obey the military and do what they want them to do, and they're really just getting screwed over by the military. And in the end of the day, the military's main objective in this film is to use their technology to, you know, just better human life, and to essentially we're taking from them and not giving them anything back. They're being promised better living environments or the ability to get their spaceship up and running again, but nobody's doing anything for them. So in the midst of Wikus going and looking for all of these people and getting them to sign these papers and tricking them into it, he comes across one specific alien who would go on to be the main alien character in the film. And this character is a really intelligent, smart alien. I really enjoy his character. You know, like I said, they don't speak in this film, but then, like in English, everything is subtitled, and I think they do an amazing job of making it feel very real, very lived in, like I mentioned. But the special effects, especially in the eyes of these aliens, is just so well done. I think this is some of the best CG that I've ever seen done on aliens, and you really do feel and sympathize for these characters. The emotion and everything that they try to convey is there in the face, even though they look like cockroaches. The eyes really can tell you a lot about these characters in the story. And I just have always just genuinely enjoyed this character, this main alien character, and just how well-rounded he is, how intelligent he is. And, you know, he has a son. He really just wants to get his son and his species off of this planet, and he's driven by it. So when Wikus ends up coming by to get his paper signed, you know, he denies. He doesn't really understand why. He feels like he's being lied to, and Wikus ends up doing an illegal search. But of course, they're aliens, so nobody cares that they're doing what would be considered an illegal search. But he ends up doing a search of this alien's hut, and he ends up finding science experiments. And this, we find out that this alien is trying to build something, and he has something already in order to power up the spaceship. And you know, he's been working for a long time to get this all ready and set and get what he needed from the wreckage in order for him to get his species off of this planet. And now Wikus has found one of the items and has taken it, confiscated it. They went in there, they raided it all, and it's kind of essentially ruined this guy's plans. Not too long into the film, Wikus ends up opening one of these devices, which ends up spraying something onto his face, a black goo or black liquid in general. And yeah, what ends up happening to Wikus is he ends up getting sick. He starts to feel really terrible. He starts to, you know, not understand what's happening. And all of a sudden, he grows a limb that looks exactly like these aliens. He's turning into one of these aliens. And I won't get any deeper into the narrative, but you have this great story about these aliens and this one specific alien who wants to save his son, wants to save his race, wants to get them off of this planet. And you have this main character who is working with the military, who is now becoming one of them. The prejudice is on him. He's not viewed the same. The love he had from his loved one is not the same. And he kind of has to create friendships with these people that he had a prejudice towards, these aliens, you know, these aliens that he had a prejudice towards at the beginning of the film. You know, he has to build a relationship with them and really start to sympathize with them and realize, you know, why they are the way they are and what they're really trying to do. You know, why they just want to escape. They're not here to conquer the earth. They're not here to kill people or hurt people. They're being trapped. They're being locked here. They want out. And I just think that it's such an interesting concept. You know, it's done in such a dark and gritty and just very realistic and nasty way. Of course, it's sci-fi. There's sci-fi weapons. There's over-the-top, unrealistic, fantasy-like elements. But I think for the most part, they were really able to take this story, make it feel really grounded. It feels a lot like I said, like a Jarhead, or just like a very boots on the ground, dirty, just grimy film. And I really just enjoy the look, the feel, the vibe, the performances in this film. There are some characters that are forgettable and really not the focal point, and I don't really think that's too big of a negative. They're just characters that really don't matter. But where the characters are focused on and where the story focuses on is just done so well. You do feel emotion for these aliens. You feel emotion for Wickus's character as he grows. And I couldn't recommend this film enough, guys. So thank you guys for voting for this on my Instagram story poll. If you guys want to see more reviews that you guys want to see, definitely go and follow my link in the description box. You guys can find the link to my Instagram, and I do Instagram story polls there pretty often, which will have 2 movies, and you guys can choose which one, and I'll review that movie next. Coming up, I have some reviews for the Child Play series coming up, the Chucky films. I just have been just watching them. My girlfriend had not seen them before, and we've just been watching them this week, so it's been nice to rewatch these films. You know, I think Chucky is like one of the best B horror film characters of all time. The films are not great, but they're just so entertaining to me, and I'll really break down which ones I like more than others and why. But yeah, I'm gonna be doing those reviews very soon, so you guys can look out for those. But like I said, go to my Instagram link and you guys can find all kinds of things where I'll be promoting my new videos, as well as doing story polls that you guys can be involved in. So thank you guys again for voting for that. Make sure you guys hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and leave a comment down below. Have you seen District 9? Did you like it? Did you not like it? I really want to hear what you guys have to say about this movie, because this is a film that I feel not too many people know about, but it's a film that I think is just absolutely beautiful, and I could not recommend enough. If you have not seen District 9 before, go check it out. If you're a fan of sci-fi films, a fan of just, you know, aliens in general, or if you're just a fan of film and you like a very realistic, gritty takes on stories, I think you'll have a really great time with this. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Make sure you guys also click the end screen links that pop up at the very end of my videos, so you guys can be engaged with more videos that I'm putting out, maybe one that you missed, and I'll see all of you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!